fresh dose of tech news and insight. This is the Early Burb Briefing. It is Tuesday, March 29th, 2022. This is the Early Burb Briefing. I'm Eagle Falcon. I mean, I said it was coming. I said this was going to be coming. I'm surprised it took this long, to be perfectly honest. The tariffs that were placed on China of almost 25% on electronic goods and other goods has been finally lifted. And I'm actually surprised it took this long. I thought this would have been something that would have been done by executive order like a couple months into the incoming administration. But, you know, it is what it is. And fortunately, we do see some vendors like, for example, Asus here, actually going out and saying they are going to actually lower their GPU prices by up to 25% after these tariffs have been lifted. And honestly, this is the correct answer. These tariffs should be lifted. I mean, the prices should be reduced after these tariffs are lowered down, which it's about time, to be perfectly honest. I'm surprised it took this long, because quite frankly, as much as China needs some pushback, these tariffs pretty much hurt us, the American people, far more than it hurt the Chinese, at least in my opinion. But I also admit I am not a geopolitical expert. I felt these were just putting the hurt on an already bad situation, but there's a lot behind the scenes I don't know. Regardless, I expected these were going to be dropped. Lo and behold, they have. Granted, during a very interesting time where the chip shortage seems to just barely starting to catch up, but the war going on in Ukraine is a massive wild card that, you know, it makes the rest of us just kind of go, what's gonna happen? And that really is the wild card in all this. Not to sound too doomy and gloomy, but we don't know what the demand's gonna end up being. We don't know what the supply chain's gonna end up being. We're hearing that the price for the silicon wafers themselves are going up. Hopefully, there's a little bit of pushback to that. There's a little bit of ways to try and reduce those costs, because otherwise it's just going to make everything that we're trying to advance on cost more. And quite frankly, as everything's trying to become smart, as everything's trying to go ahead and advance, this is just going to push more and more devices to instead be more analog, to be more basic, rather than to become more smart, which some people might argue is a good thing. But it is going to be something that is going to be very interesting when you go outside of the computer space, how they advance. But for those of us wanting to build PCs, this is all good news, and hopefully we start seeing some relief soon. That is going to do it for me. Stay safe and stay healthy.